these movies. These movies. Not every single one of them. Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to another video. And for today, we're going to be looking at the worst of the worst when it comes to 2018 in film. Guys, this is going to be my top 10 worst / most disappointing movies of 2018. So without further ado, let's get into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be Rampage. Rampage, well, it's a video game movie. And I was like, okay, immediately just wrote it off then and there. But Dwayne Johnson in it, thought it could have been fun. Turns out it was only fun for about the last 20 minutes of the movie. But other than that, it's really painfully boring for a movie that's about giant monsters fighting one another and destroying cities. Coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be The Nun. Now, The Nun, I'll just say I'm a fan of the Conjuring universe. Oh, wow, I mean, it was better than Annabelle anyway, but like, that much. By like the slightest amount. It's predictable, it's boring, its pacing became an issue. I liked the setting, I liked the leads in the movie, but other than that, it was painfully boring. That's a common theme you're gonna find in a lot of these movies. If a movie bores me and cannot hold my attention, it's more than likely on this list. This was one of them. I expected it to be scary, I expected it to be good, but for the most part, it was just a boring by-the-numbers horror flick. Coming in at the number 8 spot is one of the biggest disappointments of the year for me, and that is because it is Mile 22. How did they go wrong? I don't understand. Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg had collaborated 3 times before this, with Patriots Day, Deepwater Horizon, and Lone Survivor, and I adore all 3 of those movies. Then you come to this one, where there's just no strings attached, it's not a true story, you can go just as crazy balls to the wall action as you want. It seemed like it should be action, masterpiece, gold, kick-assery, and instead it's not because of the editing. The editing is so bad. The editing is what absolutely puts this movie into the ground. Next is a Melissa McCarthy flick, because surprise, surprise, it's Melissa McCarthy playing Melissa McCarthy. Life of the Party is in my number 7 spot. It was watchable. Melissa McCarthy, I used to like her a lot. I used to be a fan of her shtick, but now she's done it for a few years. She plays 2 characters. She's either loud, rude, and crude, or she's this like mom that's klutzy and blutzy. The plot had potential. There are moments where I chuckled, but there's no laugh out loud, belly laugh moments, and overall it just ends up being super by the numbers. Coming in at the number 6 spot is a bore fest. That is Red Sparrow. Wow, this movie just really couldn't have gotten much worse than it was. It had Jennifer Lawrence and the director who did the last few Hunger Games movies, so I thought that's what we were gonna get, just this crazy, awesome spy thriller movie. You had Joel Edgerton in there, and he did good, but he was the only one that did good. Jennifer Lawrence was completely lifeless. The movie looked bleak, it was hollow, had nothing in it, and it basically just says, hey, if you want to be an awesome woman spy, you just gotta go and have sex with everything. Why not, right? Why empower women when we can just use them as objects in our movie about empowering women, so it doesn't do what it's said to do at all, and instead it just completely deflates itself. Next, in the number 5 spot is going to be a Netflix movie, and that is The Cloverfield Paradox. Wow. I don't know what else to say about this movie. I was so excited, and then it was just the most basic sci-fi flick you could ever ask for. That's something that Cloverfield had, was its mystery, was its thriller elements. This was just the most basic shit ever. It was so bland. I expected big things from this. I expected this movie to mess with my mind. I expected it to tie the other Cloverfield movies together and set up all the rest, and instead it was just a Lost in Space movie. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Game Over Man, another one, a Netflix original, and it's quick and easy for this one. It's completely unfunny, could have been great, made by the guys who do Workaholics, way too many dick jokes. Game Over Man, there you go. Coming in at the number 3 spot is another Netflix original, and it is How It Ends. This is a movie that had potential. I saw the trailer, seemed like it was cool, seemed like they could have really did something with it, and again, it falls into the just most basic, boring possible category. This is probably the most boring movie of the year, and the most basic, I would dare say. It goes nowhere. The ending is completely unsatisfying. Everything about the movie is bad. The acting is so bland. You have Theo James and Forrest Whitaker, 2 guys who can act. Nope, bland, boring. The sound design is horrible. The score is horrible. Coming to the number 2 spot, the runner-up for the worst / most disappointing movie of the year is Slender Man. Wow, what a dumpster fire this movie was. about 5 years way too late, and then it is like the most generic, basic ass, terrible jump scare shit fest of a horror movie ever. Number 2 is going to Slender Man, guys. Do not waste your time or your money on this garbage movie. And coming in at the number 1 spot, the absolute worst and most disappointing movie of the year is Truth or Dare. Yeah. Wow. The idea is relatively cool, but then you see the trailer and you have those shitty CGI smiles. They are all throughout the movie. The movie has everything possibly wrong you could think of in a horror movie. The writing is terrible aside from the basic idea. The acting is terrible. It's full of jump scares, the terrible CGI smiles, and then to wrap this movie up, it ends with a giant slap in the face because it's all there just to set up an even bigger sequel. It just, like, the whole movie literally seemed like it was just to set up a sequel that's bigger than the original. I know it takes a lot of work to make a movie, but this just, it didn't even miss the mark. It was like, there's the mark, it went that way. I saw it once, and never will I ever again. Even if you asked me in a game of Truth or Dare, never would I ever check this flick out again. So if you have not seen it, I implore you to never watch it. So folks, those are my top 10 worst and most disappointing movies of the year. Let me know what your top 10 is. Do you agree with any of my picks, or do you guys have marginally different picks? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to check me out on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links will be in the description and at the end of the video. And be sure to check out my Instagram page every Friday for the Fan Vote Friday. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. But movies need reviewing. But damn, it's cold outside. The people